Hello, I'm Dave. Dave from Cape Cod. Dave from Cape Cod Smokehouse. Today we're here to talk about smoking, but we'll also talk about putting together a new dream. And that new dream has to do with new changes on Cape Cod, and new changes here in the United States. But the first one is, what are we? We have a smokehouse. We create really fascinating food with barbecue, recipe, from Memphis, that's my background. And for years and years, almost 60 years, Cape Cod, where we know about fish and we know about seafood. Today, we're going to introduce this mix to something new, and that's to do with the farmers, the schools, the fish, and what can we do by changing something and making it a new dream. And that new dream has to do with now being able to take a product like our codfish cakes, which are really known well, but to prepare them for the schools and for the school kids, and to prepare them so they're delicious and they're also very healthy. This is new. This is just starting into our schools, and they call it Farm to School. We're going to join what Department of Agriculture, what the parents, what the people in schools have begun to say. We really need healthy kids, and they have to go out and accept what is a delicious food. Not just healthy, but also delicious. Healthy food, we talked about delicious food, but let's get to the nitty-gritty of what we want. We want to be able to do what we've been doing with our seafoods and to get that to the schools throughout the Commonwealth, because there's a new option, and that is that companies like ours can deal direct to the schools. We have to work with their prices, but what a new customer it is. For over 400 school systems in the Commonwealth. And we've started with the first 6 and had a great reaction that it's tasty, the kids say it's delicious, and it's year-round. We won't worry about the summer too much, because on the Cape we have enough to do. But the rest of those months where we don't have enough to do, we've got all these school kids, and we've got those college kids. And there's even a few hospitals and other places that might like delicious food, but healthy food. To do it, that's the key here, we need some help. And the help is why we're turning to this new idea of saying, we are sort of going to help you to start. And we are going to do it by giving you a great list, 7 items, the lucky 7, of our food in various packages. These packages start with $100, have things like scallop sandwiches, dinners, the greatest pulled pork. As many people have said, the best barbecue on all of Cape Cod year-round. How does it help everybody? Very, very, very simple. We take the $100, you say, I'd like that. We explain it to you. You then say, I'd like 1, I'd like 2. It could be 4 big sandwiches, or 4 great big ribs, or 6 or 8, or a dinner for 8. Or how about this? How about a whole pig smoked with all the things that come with it, and have 25, 35, 40, 50 people? We can do that. You know, it was only a few years ago where we did a party for we'll try that for only a few years ago with Teddy Kennedy. He called us up here, or had his staffers, and we made barbecue for 350 people that were coming up from the great hurricane problem down in New Orleans. I tell you, after Katrina is a good example of our barbecue. We had a call from Ted Kennedy's office and asked us if we could put together, to feed about 300 to 400 people, a barbecue down at Otis Air Force Base, 10 o'clock the next morning. This was Friday, the next day was Saturday. And we did it. We put the people together. everybody came up, 300 to 400 people, and at the end, Ted was nice enough to say thank you in the way people do it. They simply say thank you. The good part, you've heard a lot of, and our food is a great part. But the bad part is our winters. The bad part is that we have on Cape Cod not enough affordable housing. We on Cape Cod don't have wages enough so that you can have a good, regular, raise a family, a dream of your own. And we have not the ability right now to cook enough food to feed all these kids throughout the Commonwealth. And we're here to say, here is an opportunity. Here is maybe the opportunity for our generation. I'm stretching mine a little bit, but for the rest of the generation. So what we want is your help. We can buy the equipment to feed 100 of those schools, or 50 of those schools, or 200 or 300 of those schools, year in and year out, because the fish aren't going away. And good people aren't going to go away too. They want to stay here. They just have to have something what we call a real life, a real dream, affordable housing, good wages, to take our assets here on the Cape, which is the name. Cape Cod's got a great name. Our fish and seafood, great. It's not going anywhere. And people believe it if it comes from Cape Cod, and we make it a reality because it is delicious. And that comes from the kids. So what we're saying, year-round, a family situation. The schools are there. What do we have to do? Well, to make sure you get your money's worth, we really are using the same concept with our catering products that we've been doing just for a long time. Great food. But a percentage of that you're paying is going to go into another use, and that is buying the equipment, installing the equipment. Here's where you come in. We need equipment. For right now, for example, we're making codfish cakes by hand. If we really work all day with the one person, we can make about 500 codfish cakes. A couple of people, we might get it up to 12 or 1,300 a day with these cakes. But we have schools that have tens of thousands of kids. We need to make 15 or 20,000 of these little cakes if we want to have the schools. Because the first question they ask us, they know we're a little company, is, well, how many can you make? How many can you distribute? And we went out and we got offers of types of equipment that we could put in our existing